Welcome back, 1570 AM WNST. My next guest is a globe-trotting Nestor Aparicio. He's traveling up and down the shore in Maryland here on his crab cake tour, looking fly in a brand new Ford Bronco. Nestor, welcome in.
You know, I don't patronize you, right? Like ever. I've never seen anything like this vehicle. Like I've been driving around for 5 days. I've been stopped 25 times. There's no place. I'm literally hiding over here in the corner of a parking lot in Centerville, Maryland, which is beautiful, by the way. And because if people see it, they come up and they circle it. So that I've sent you videos, I've sent you pictures. I didn't pay those people. They were not paid actors. They're like legitimately people that went around. Someone stopped me this morning. Literally, I got gas at Royal Farm. Somebody stopped me. I got gas in Berlin because I had finally run out of gas in this thing, right? I've been driving around. It was down below a quarter, and now I'm working my way back. I got something for you, though, okay? So I spent the morning in Cambridge going to a real crab pickery. I have unbelievable video, audio from Jack Brooks at J.M. Clayton. Dennis, people have been really nice to me. I don't know why. You know what I mean?
You're a nice guy. Why wouldn't he be?
Well, I try. So to show you how nice a guy I am, you know, I love you, but this is true love. Okay. There's a couple things that separate love from true love. Cats, peach bread, and this right here.
Okay.
You ready?
All right.
You ready? I pulled over on the side of the road.
Oh, that is not a golden melon. Can't be.
That is a gold melon. That is absolutely a gold melon.
Man.
I got that for you. I know I tilted my camera here, but yeah, I pulled over a little while ago. I was driving and I'm like, you know what? Dennis is going to get one of these. So
did you see a sign that said golden melon? Is that what pulled you over, or you just?
I got two of them. I got one for me, one for you.
But did you see a sign though? Was there a sign on the street, or how did you?
No. Here's what happened. This happened 10 minutes ago. So why I'm late getting to Heather Mazier over here in Chestertown. We're going to 98 Cannons today. By the way, I'm eating some delicious crab cakes. I mean, it's
and you never get. Somebody told you you're going to get tired of eating them, right? But you know, it's like pizza. We've been eating pizza all of our lives. And the same thing with crab cakes. A good crab cake is a good crab cake, and no two are alike. Am I right or wrong in saying that, Nestor? When you go to
1,000,000%, no two are alike. None of these have been anything alike.
Correct.
They've all had a different texture, character, internal things, arguments about peppers and not peppers, all of that stuff. So. And Greek people from Greektown in Baltimore, by the way, the folks that own Fratelli's, they're from they're East Baltimore. They brought the Baltimore crab.
Greek people own Fratelli's. That's an Italian name. Not that we haven't conquered each other back and forth through the ages, right? The Italians and the Greeks. It's that Mediterranean blood, which runs very hot, as we know.
They had a lot of pizza in there. They had a delicious Capri salad, but they also had some good Greek food. They had a lasagna, but they had a great crab cake. And these were George Sakelis, very nice.
I was going to say, was it George or Nick you talked to? It had to be George or Nick. Sakelis.
It was George.
I know the Sakelis family. Small world.
They know the Koulatsos family.
I'm sure they do.
So I'm doing all these crab cakes and I'm having all of this fun and meeting all these people. And I just. Maryland's really beautiful, man. Like
we get everything.
I've told everybody, and I make people laugh. And I told the mayor this of Ocean City. I told the mayor of Salisbury, especially the mayor of Salisbury. He's a very good guy, Jake Day. Served our country, unbelievable. Meeting cool people. But I told them, I guess when you're 12. You're bugging your kids in the back seat. I'm sure you got a television that would fall out of this thing or whatever if you needed it to, and kids can be occupied. But all of these towns, Easton to Trapp to Cambridge, they all felt like they were 5 hours. It felt like it took 3 days to get to the beach. Then you're like in your teens, and then you just want to get there to get to your girls, your beer. I said, you're just horny and want to get there. You want to stop to pee, maybe get a burger somewhere, but you want to get there. The bridge, it was always slow when we were younger. Now at 52, and if my parents were alive, if people that knew me when I was younger alive, like, pulling off the road and making a left turn or a right turn and slowing down and stopping and getting melons and stopping at the side of the road. So I was flying along in this beautiful Bronco trying to get up to Chestertown. And I saw a whole melon rack, long green ones that look like big cucumbers, traditional ones that, with the red seeds. And then I saw these melons and I'm like, those look like gold melons because they're a little more round than they are oblong, more like a basketball than a football, right? And I literally U-turned, I'm late. I stopped at Wise Markets because I wanted to get some fresh fruit this morning because I didn't have anything to eat. I went into a bakery looking for peach bread. They didn't have any. I wasn't feeling a donut today. Dennis, I'm going to get fat. I mean, like, I literally, man, like, people are trying to, Greek people, Eastern Shore people, they're trying to feed me. The Greek people tried to give me tiramisu. They had all these desserts. So, like, I'm like, no. Last night, the girl put potato chips on my plate. I'm like, no. I took one, and then I said no. And so I'm trying to be good, right? I mean, you know that, right?
They're very giving people. They're very giving people. They will feed you to death. Like, my family, they feed me, and then, they'll say, Denny, you're getting too heavy, and here's a loaf of bread out of the oven, fresh baked.
They all think I'm skinny. You know what I mean?
You're skinny. By Greek standards, you're anorexic looking. You really are. You got to fatten you up.
They're really worried about me. It's been so much fun. I went down to the tuna way and the marlin way. My dear client and friend Evan Brown from State Fair fished in it. My other friend and client Brian Eater from the Chaucer in Highlandtown, he fished in it. They've been unsuccessful thus far, but Brian did really well last year. That boat that sank, I mean, Baltimore people involved in saving that. I mean, it's been pretty eventful. I've run into friends. I've made some new friends. I ate Thrasher's French fries. I sat in the Jolly Roger Park at the pier. You familiar with that, down on the pier where
of
you
course
get Thrashers?
I am. Absolutely.
You know the guy guesses your weight or your age?
Yes.
I heard his entire story from the people who grew up on the pier with him. He left us a few years ago. He's from New Jersey, and they did his Barker call that he would do, hey, hit, like all this stuff to bring people over. So we did that down on the pier. I ate the crab cakes with the mayor. It's all coming to Baltimore Positive. I haven't had enough time to get everything up, but I've been putting some pictures up. It's just been a lovely experience. I mean, and I can't thank you enough for the vehicle and the sponsorship. And people are hitting me. They're like, you're like a NASCAR with your Chicken Palooza stuff. I'm like, good. If you now know what sustains me and allows me to tell these stories, to wake up in Cambridge and show you, you're going to see where these crabs come from, Den. And Jack Brooks at Jam Clayton sent you a special gift because he liked the car.
Very nice. I appreciate that. It's always, look, there's the kindness of people. What's that?
He runs a crab pickery.
Okay.
So what do you think you got?
I'm hoping anyway. I'm praying. I like to eat, and crab meat in particular, right? And I don't think anybody in Maryland makes a bad crab cake. I think it just goes. I think the scale's got to be from good to great, right? Depending on the recipe, depending on your taste, right?
I haven't had anything that's been less than like a 9.5. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know where to complain because the complaints. I'll say this about crab cakes, and I'll continue on this path. And I'm going to be like a politician on crab cake. You're going to have a hard time having me say something bad about any of these crab. I mean, I've selected these crab cakes to be excellent. These aren't fish sticks, for crying out loud. These are people buying crab at $60 a pound, where you're going to see where it's on my shoes right now. I was in the Pickery an hour ago over in Cambridge, right? But the places that use binding or egg or I have learned that that's the flavor, the slurry, the slurry that makes it creamy, and whatever the consistency of the binding, whatever the breadcrumb, cracker, seasoning. The other day I'm trying to think of crab cake to crab cake because they're starting to run together. I mean, they really are. Day 4 crab cake was in, I did, let's see. No, I'm confusing the crab cakes now. I had a crab cake and I could taste the white pepper in it. Okay. And I said, there's white pepper in that. It was the Fratelli's crab cake. It was the Fratelli's crab cake. It was Fratelli's. I said to him, there's white pepper in there. And he looked at me and I'm like, I've eaten a lot of Chinese food, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? You're not going to get white pepper by me. Your taste buds are dialed in when you can discern white pepper in a mixture of crab cake or crab meat. That's really, that's a level up from a level most people never attain. Put it to you that way. One thing I haven't had yet, and I'm going to be really, really honest with you. If you would have asked me, first off, I like my crab cakes fried. So yesterday at Blue, which is the old Embers, that family, wonderful family, the Toston family, by the way, from Pimlico in Baltimore. Okay. So you've been to the Embers. That's a Baltimore family. And you go to Blue on 27th. That's a Baltimore family. I'm in there with him. They skillet the broiling of it, right? So the underneath of it gets crusty, like
Okay.
fried. So
Okay.
the top is broiled, the
Nice.
bottom is
Ah.
fried, right?
Oh,
So
gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
I'm like, it's the best of both worlds,
Hey,
you know?
hey, party at the top,
So
business at the bottom. I like it.
I'm seeing, so I'm seeing all these. So for me, I love celery seed. Okay. So,
Me too.
and I don't love like chicken salad or things that celery seed are in, but I love
I,
celery
I
seed
like it
in a
in
crab cake.
coleslaw. I like it in
If
coleslaw
I
too.
get it like stuck in my teeth and I find it an hour later,
Yeah.
it's like
See,
a
I
little
won't eat
pleasure
coleslaw with
capsule.
I will not eat coleslaw without celery seed.
I have not had a crab cake with celery seed in it yet. And that's okay.
Okay.
I may go 30 days. My mother, and I told everybody this, right? We were poor, right? My mom would buy the claw meat, not the meat you're getting today. It's still refrigerated and all that. So by the way, I'm bringing the vehicle back tonight. Apparently expires like Cinderella. So I'm going to bring it back to you. But my parents, my mom would put mustard, mayonnaise, celery seed, Old Bay, probably salt and pepper to some degree. She might even put a little red pepper in it. Worcestershire for sure. She used breadcrumbs, like the ones in the can that were, not the
Hey,
best bread. She used an egg, right?
you gotta,
And
you gotta do what you gotta do.
she fried the crap out of them. You know what I mean? And you know what they tasted like? Crab cakes. You know what I mean? Like I'm from Dundalk, right? These things here are probably the difference. And I don't want to be disrespectful. I ate a lot of York Steakhouse. I ate a lot of Ponderosa. I loved Rustler.
Oh,
And I'd sell my soul for a Rustler T-bone right now and a jacket potato. But and then you go to Roost Chris, right? And then you go to Kobe, Japan. There's a different level. These crab cakes here that I'm having. I mean, that crab cake I had at Suicide Bridge, the crab cake I had at Harrison's, those first two, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with any of them. They're a different kind of crab cake than what I've gotten even at Costas, than at Faithley's. Faithley's is very mustardy, they're all different and they're all delicious. So I can't bag on any of them, but I can say I haven't had a celery seed yet. And when I get that first celery seed, that's going to be a little bit of a pleasure for me, no matter what it is.
absolutely. The celery seed, the mustard seed. We're starting to become biblical here in our pursuit of the perfect crab cake. And
dry mustard. That's another key secret that's in the slurry. I caught them over at G&M, my friends over in the West Side. I caught him with a little Tabasco kind of Texas Pete thing in there. There's some heat in the G&M that's not anywhere else, unique.
It also explains the color of the coloring of the crab cake too, right? It's a little darker than your typical, at least the broiled ones that I get.
Because they put the red,
little red, but they're all very stingy though. They will not divulge their secrets, right? They guard those things like a national secret in terms of what's in the recipes, and they should.
So I was with Jack Brooks this morning over at Jam Clayton, and they distribute more crab meat than anyone. And I told him this story, and he was telling me that if you want the best crabs, get them from the Chop Tank River. He said because they're brinier, sweeter, all that. My first crab cake was at Suicide Bridge Restaurant. If you've never been there, Dennis, please go. Make a left turn. It's the most beautiful ride you've ever been on in your life through this little town called Secretary. You go over this bridge that looks like something out of Alice in Wonderland, and then you sit down and have a crab cake. I'm picking at this crab cake and it's delicious, and they're playing country music, and I got long hair, and then they put some Def Leppard on for me. Nobody knows who I am. I didn't introduce. I just ordered a crab cake and a glass of water and sat at the bridge and enjoyed myself. And I got to the last bite and I found a little orange row thing, and I knew it was female crab meat. And it was so sweet, this crab cake. And I caught the orange piece in it because Damie Hahn at Faithley's taught me this, that they usually process females. Now this morning at Clayton, all male. Every crab I saw in there this morning, and I saw 10,000 crabs this morning, were all male. Now the female crabs are sweeter, and I had a female, for sure, crab at Suicide Bridge, and I noted how sweet and delicious it was. And Jack Clayton said that crab came out of that water, and they pulled it out. It's 8 miles up the river here. Like he pointed to it, and I'm like, you're just not going to get that crab cake in Hagerstown. I mean, no, you're probably not going to get that exact crab cake in Ocean City. Although my dude at Harrison said, you see that crab you're eating? It came from right where that bridge is in Assateague. I buy from the same guy every day. Every oyster comes from right there. Or oyster stew, which I did not eat, that I need to eat 2 weeks from now. So this has been a Bourdain PhD level, and I'm on day 5, right? It's the 5th, today the 5th?
Yeah,
Today's the 5th.
yeah, today's the 5th. Absolutely.
This was a really good idea, and I'm eternally grateful to you, to my friends at Royal Farms and Coons and Wise Markets, and just everybody that put this show on the road, quite frankly, because it's been fun. I hope you guys are having fun watching it too.
Well, thanks so much for the consideration, Nestor, and I can't wait to receive thy bounty, my beautiful gifts, the crab meat and the melon, the golden.
You don't want the car back?
You know what? Cars we can replace. People we can't. So it's just
There's only one gold watermelon like this one right here. And, but I could pull the. Let me see if I pull the other one up without knocking this over, because you can't pull it up from the stem because it'll fall.
You're getting a good workout too. You're bending.
Yeah, this is a good. It's a good like lat thing.
Good core.
So here, if you want to take a screenshot of this and put it up on the internet, you certainly can. Of my a big Easter Shore melons.
We can certainly do that. Hold on. I got you right.
All right, man.
You're gonna love it.
Send that over, and
all right.
I gotta get up to Heather Mazier's waiting for me.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go. You're up against the clock.
So when I say the word serendipity to you, the definition of serendipity is this trip. Every single thing that's supposed to happen, including these melons, has happened. Today, I'm at 98 Cannons Restaurant. My friend Chris Golder, he ran the Bay Cafe when it became the Boathouse. He's my friend through Taste of the NFL and Nancy Longo. He has slung crab cakes and corn chowder at me at every Super Bowl. The night before the Super Bowl, Nancy flies to the Super Bowl city. I've had Wayne Kostrowski on. Taste of the NFL is an incredible. I mean, they have fed millions of people. It's a hunger campaign, and he's participated. And last week, I said to Heather Mazier, you want to go to 98 Cannons or the other place that has great crab cakes in Chester? She picked 98 Cannons, and I said, great. And then over the weekend, my friend Randy Rom from J Moore and formerly Great Kirk Van Zandt said, Chris Golder runs 98 Cannons. You should get a crab cake with him. And I'm like, oh, he's in my phone,
There you go.
So I text him. We're setting it up, but I'm a little late getting there. But
all right, man.
I'll be back.
Godspeed.
Get together on Monday.
All right.
And you can tell me how good the watermelon is. By the way, the watermelon, I put my seatbelt on, so I'm getting ready.
Okay.
I'm keeping it legit. I know the guy that owns the vehicle. I pulled up, and the man who picked these melons was definitely in his 80s, right? He had the hands of a man who had worked the fields here on the Eastern Shore. And I had him pick them. I didn't trust me. So he went over there, Dennis. He beat on 12 of them.
Really?
Because I didn't know to your point, I didn't know which one was really the goal. Because they're all different. And I almost thought, like, if I weren't on the road in Southern Maryland all weekend, I would have bought like 5 different melons, given them $20 and brought them home and sliced them all and see if they're different. I'm going to do that one day. But he picked these out. So he beat on them. I said, I don't care how big they are. I just want them to be awesome. And so there you go. All right.
All right, man.
All right, I'm going to put it in drive, man. All right. Appreciate you.
Stay well. Stay well. All right, there he goes. Nestor J. Aparicio here, 1570 AM WNST. We'll be back right after this.